Going to show you how to complete this week's assignment that is due on the 1st. You are going to be taking this song right here and recreating it here in Noteflight. As you can see, I do have some of the notes in and I've taken some of them out and replaced them with rests. So just as a reminder, when you are working in Noteflight, it does not automatically save your work. So you can have yours completely done and looking like this. And if you have not clicked this save button up here, it will come back blank and you won't be able to get any credit for it. So make sure that you are saving your work anytime that you walk away from your computer, or if you need to stop and then come back, and especially before you submit it to me. So make sure you click save. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get started. Here we are in Noteflight, and as you can see, I have my first two beats here. I have 1, 2, and I have a rest here on beat 3. So I'm going to go over into the completed song and figure out what I need. So we have 1, 2, and I need 3, and I have F to G. So going here, I'm going to click here. I have F. Now it was supposed to be eighth notes. It changed it to a quarter note because it was a quarter rest. So going up to this duration palette right here, I'm going to choose eighth note. And now I can make that an eighth note for G. So this measure is complete. Measure 2 is also filled in completely. So measure 3, I have beat 1. I need to figure out what's on beats 2 and 3. Coming here, measure 3, beats 2 and 3. I have A, B, G. So highlighting here with my cursor, it changed it to a half note because there was a half rest there. So now I need to come up here and change it back to eighth notes. Oops. See how I made a mistake here? I wanted it to be G. I can do one of two things. It's highlighted orange right now, so I could push the backspace. Or I could, let's see, I had that mistake. I can use my arrow keys and go up and down to choose the correct note. So it was supposed to be G, so I'm going to leave it there. Alright, and measure 4 is complete for me. So I'm just going to double check my work and make sure that it looks like this one. And it does. So going down to measure 5 here, I am missing beat 2 right here. So let's go in. We have A to B, and they are eighth notes. Going here, I'm going to click to highlight. You could either click to highlight here, or let's say it was still back here. I can use my arrow key and just keep going until I'm where I need to be. So, it needs to be an eighth note, go up here, to the duration palette, switch it. Okay. Now I need to get to here in measure 6. So last beat of measure 6, G to F, and they're eighth notes. So you do not have to use your cursor to input the letters or the notes here. You can use your keyboard. So I'm gonna push G, F. Oops. See what happened here? It went into the next measure because it thought this was going to be a quarter note. I need it to be, oops. I need it to be an eighth note, G, F. Now, here, all eighth notes, G, F, E, G, F, E. So G, F, G, F, E. I use my keyboard for that. You can use your cursor if you want. Just make sure if it chooses something that is not eighth notes, you come back up here and you can change it. Now, something that looks different in what I have currently and the copy is that we have a slur right here from G to F on beat 1. So the way that we do that, and this is something we haven't done before, is I'm going to click on the G here and in my articulation palette. Now, my articulation palette is already up right here. If it's not for you, you're going to click over here where the palette drop down is and choose articulation and click. And it will bring your articulation palette right up here. So now that the G is highlighted, I'm going to click slur. And it's added in this slur right here. And when you do this, you can click and drag to include however long your slur is going to be. Ours is going to be how it set it, which is to that note right there. Done. Last measure, I need to change this half rest to a half note D. Oops. Oops. There we go. Now, it thinks that I'm going to keep going, and I'm not. So what I can do is in the measure palette here, I can click delete measure, but oh, I'm not going to do it until I click this because I don't want to delete that measure. I'm going to delete this measure. And now we're done. So what I'm going to do here is once I have finished the song, I want to change this to whatever song it actually is. So the way that you can do that is by listening to the song. So you would go up here and you push play, and I'm going to mute it because you guys are going to be the ones that figure it out by listening to your recording, not mine. Once it's done, bring me back, turn my sound back on. All right, and then I'm going to change the song title. No, oops. No, I'm not telling. Not going to tell you what it is. And then I'm going to put my name, oops, over where it says lyricist so that you know that this is my copy. All right, so once you have your title, you've changed the name, everything looks a-okay, you've double checked your work to make sure it matches here. Oops. I'm going to save. And now that it's saved, I will be able to see it in Noteflight, so then you can go ahead and turn in on Google Classroom. If you have any questions, make sure that you give me an email or a private message in Google Classroom. All right, have a great week.